They did it again. What's going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome all back to a brand new Marvel Rivals update video. And today we've got a lot to discuss. We've got a brand new skin, and it is actually going to be free. We've got a brand new game mode. We've got a new event. We've got a brand new patch, along with some nerfs and buffs to some of your least and most favorite heroes, and much more.
Wow.
Of course, guys, if you do enjoy today's breakdown video, don't forget to take a quick moment and smash that thumbs up button. Thank you so very much for your kindness and your support. Let's see if we can hit 1,000 likes on today's video. And without further ado, let's dive on in. Okay, so first and foremost, let's begin with the patch, because just a couple of days from right now, on March 6th of 2025, the newest patch for Marvel Rivals will be going live. It will come in at about 2.82 to 2.84 gigabytes large. So it is a pretty hefty update. It is not just like, a couple of small little fixes, even though, don't get me wrong, as part of this particular patch, there are small fixes included. Like, for example, apparently there were some people that were running into issues where essentially the block list, the players that you would block, would get mixed up with your friends list. So that is something that is going to be addressed with this. They're also addressing the ability to go ahead and change your deluxe proficiency icons, which is essentially like your Lord rank icon and so on and so forth, will update now immediately. So are those the most exciting updates? No, but it's nice to see that the developers are still handling small little issues as well as the larger problems, so that we see that attention to detail is something that they are not skimping on. I also am very happy to hear that this patch will supposedly address a lot of problems with the environmental / the terrain collision problems, because I don't know about you guys, but I do feel like in season 1.5, I've noticed a lot more often that when the environment would like collapse or something like that, that oftentimes my characters would either clip into the sides of these collapsed items or like bump into them, or honestly, the worst feeling is when you get stuck on one of these and you just cannot move and you're like, okay, well, I guess my character's just helpless and is going to die here. So it seems like this patch is going to address a lot of those problems, and hopefully it will be a really nice and permanent fix. And speaking of fixes, this patch will also introduce quite a few of those for our heroes in the game. So let's run through the list one by one so that you guys can stay up to date with the changes that you can expect on March 6th. So first and foremost, we begin with what I would describe as a nerf for the Human Torch, because first and foremost, his flaming meteor ability, which is that ability where he like dives down onto the ground and strikes the enemies below, that ability will no longer trap enemies within walls. So that will be now removed as an after effect of that ability. And speaking of the flaming walls, which are of course the Pyro Prison ability, it will now actually disappear when Human Torch is KO'd. So right now, before this patch goes live, even if the Human Torch is eliminated, if he placed down some of those Pyro Prison walls before dying, they will still stay on the field and still damage the enemies. Those will now immediately disappear as soon as he is KO'd, which is a pretty cool change. And next up, let's talk about the Punisher, where apparently, I don't even know how people find these things out and figure them out, but regardless, there was an exploit that people found out with his ultimate, where essentially if you could create network lag or a slower ping on your side of things while you're hitting his ult, it would continuously fire his rocket barrage ability as part of his ultimate, so you're able to do way more damage, and those rockets do a ton of damage and have the auto lock on, so they are insanely powerful. And essentially people were abusing that particular feature. Well, with this patch, that will no longer be available as it has been fixed. And speaking of abusing powers, Jeff the Land Shark also had an abuse of power, because when he was teamed up with Luna Snow, he would essentially have the Frozen Spitballs ability. But the issue came in where the damage as well as the range of effect on those spitballs was actually far greater than what it was intended. With this patch, it will be reverted back to what it's actually supposed to be. So for the people that have been getting absolutely hounded by Jeff the Land Shark and the Luna Snow combo, you have something to be excited about, because it seems like he's going to be getting nerfed, or I guess just changed to what he's supposed to be at with this patch. And apparently Loki was quite the broken hero. players reported that when you would hit the ultimate on Loki, you would lose all of your user interface, which means you would not actually be able to see what abilities are available to you. That is getting fixed with this patch, which is kind of crazy to even think that it was an issue. Sorry to all of you Loki players, but I guess you'll be happy to know that it's getting fixed. In addition to that, apparently there was also an issue where if you'd use his regeneration domain ability, if they were overlapping, you would actually lose health, or you'd lose the effects of healing during that. Well, that is also now fixed, so you will be able to have a fully functional Loki character after the patch on March 6th. I think Hela took Invisible Woman's ult to heart with disappear, because honestly, it seems like she wasn't actually being properly detected while using the mission vehicle missions. So anytime you have, like, the payload where you're pushing the objective, apparently Hela wouldn't actually properly detect around the mission payload. That is something that is going to be fixed with this update. And she also had an issue where she would get launched way too up high when hitting her ultimate, which is pretty hilarious, but probably quite annoying if you're a Hela player. If you're not, it will be fixed with this new patch. And since we're on the topic of heroes launching into the sky, Wolverine, or I guess more specifically his ultimate, used to cause his opponents to gain a jump boost. Yes, just randomly they would be able to actually jump boost when he would ult them. That is something that is going to be removed. Obviously, that is something that wasn't supposed to be happening. Don't know why it was happening, but it is pretty hilarious. And it seems like with this new patch, it is going away. Now, this is something that I wasn't even aware of, and I do actually play as SPDR or Spider or Penny Parker, but allegedly there's an issue that several people would run into when getting hit specifically by the Namor ult, where the positioning of your character would then be off and skewed. That is something that is going to be fixed with this patch. So again, all of you Penny Parker players, fear not, there is a fix on the way. And last but certainly not least, when it comes to this patch, we have Adam Warlock, where allegedly if you had ulted and failed while standing near cliffs, there was a common glitch where essentially you would lose the entirety of your ultimate charge. Whereas obviously if you've played the game, you know that if you fail an ult, you're not supposed to drop all the way to 0. You're supposed to drop to 50% of your ult. So with this patch, they're fixing that, where instead of just losing the entirety of your ult charge, you will drop back down to just 50%. Ooh, that was a lot, but we're still not done yet, because today they went ahead and announced a brand new game mode, as well as the new event that we can expect to begin on March 7th. So of course, everything that we talked to up until now is just the patch notes and essentially all the fixes that are coming with the patch notes. And then now we have the new content that is coming, starting with March 7th, new event titled Galacta's Cosmic Adventure. And this event will be going from March 7th until April 1st. I would also encourage you guys, if you've been trying to get the Eternal Night event done, hurry up, because you've only got a few more days left. So make sure to complete that, and so that you do get that really cool Groot skin for free, as well as all the gallery cards and all that other stuff. So get to work on that. But Galacta's Cosmic Adventure looks really fun. It almost looks kind of, at least to me, like a board game kind of setup. I really love the aesthetic of the whole thing. I think they did a great job there. So looking forward to competing on that giant board game and completing the little events within it. And they also did go ahead and announce that as part of this event, we are once again getting a brand new premium skin for free, which is absolutely awesome. This one is titled the Mrs. Barnes costume for Black Widow. Again, I don't really play Black Widow, so I'm not overly excited about this, but the skin itself actually looks really cool. It has this kind of cowboy sort of vibe to it, which I think looks fan-flippin-tastic. The MVP animation is really freaking cool as well. Again, a really sick design for this one, and it's just so cool that they continue to give us all this free content on top of course, you have the premium content in the battle pass. But I really do like that Marvel Rivals goes out of their way to also entice us to play the game by giving us all these free events and rewards in the form of nameplates. Sometimes it might be a gallery card with a little bit more story, or most excitingly so, when they actually give us free skins. And this one looks really freaking cool. And speaking of cool, we're also getting a brand new, I assume it will be limited time game modes titled Clone Rumble. It looks so freaking fun and so freaking hectic. I also expect so many consoles to crash and so many games to crash when we have multiple people trying to go ahead and use, let's say, the Doctor Strange portal at the exact same moment, or imagine 5 different sets of Lokis all using Loki clones all at the same time. It is going to be so freaking hectic, but it sounds like it is going to be such a blast. Essentially, this brand new mode allows you to select one hero and everyone on the team is that same hero. So as of right now, obviously, if you've been playing Marvel Rivals, you select a character and then your teammates no longer have the ability to select that same character. And yes, I know obviously there's an exception to this rule, like for example, the limited time mode for Jeff, where everyone on the team was Jeff. But generally speaking, that is the traditional setup. With this new game mode, that is going away. Essentially, it seems like we're all going to vote as a team on which character we're going to play as, and then we all have that same character. It sounds so epic, so funny. Just the trailer itself, like with the crazy Groot walls, it's going to be insane. I cannot wait to see how this works. I cannot wait to actually dive into it, because I think this one is going to bring out some fantastic memes and some great laughs. Probably also a lot of rage, but that will also lead to some laughs. So a win-win. Oh, and by the way, as far as when Clone Rumble goes live, it will be going live just like the brand new Galactus event on March 7th. So once again, the patch drops on March 6th. And then, of course, all of the new content goes live on March 7th. Once again, also don't forget that the event for Galactus Cosmic Adventure will be live from March 7th until April Fool's Day. So you have that good amount of time to actually complete all the different tasks in order to earn that free skin. So there you guys have it. Lots of excitement for Marvel Rivals once again, as if they just continue. So there you guys have it. Again, an insane amount of news for Marvel Rivals. They continue to supersede all of my expectations. Honestly, this is one of the most impressive games I've ever seen in terms of just the attention to detail, how hard they're working at keeping the game fresh, giving us stuff for free, giving us new premium content as well, because of course they have to make money somehow, some way to be able to continue to make this much content. So I think that overall, I am extremely impressed by everything that they were doing with this game. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited about the new Clone Rumble mode? Are you excited about the new patch notes, the new free skin, the new Galacta event? I mean, it's crazy to think that Marvel Rivals just continues to get so much news on what seems like almost a daily basis. Speaking of which, if you want to stay up to date with all of the latest news for Marvel Rivals, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button on today's video, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I will hopefully catch you guys here on the next one. As I always say, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Peace out. See you later, alligators.